Unemployment in Poland has been rising for 8 months in a row. According to data provided by the Ministry of Family, Labour and Social Policy, over 930,000 Poles are currently unemployed. In reality, this number may be higher, as not all unemployed people are registered with the Employment Office. Poland is the 20th largest economy in the world. Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk's government boasts about this practically every day. But what does that mean to the nearly 1 million unemployed people registered with employment offices? The latest data from the Ministry of Family, Labour and Social Policy is increasingly worrying. Comparing month to month, the number of unemployed has increased by more than 5 percentage points, nearly 50,000 people. Year on year, that's almost 100,000 people. But the coalition remains calm. We should not be concerned because 100,000 seems like a large number on the one hand, but in the context of how many people are employed in Poland, it is not a very rapid increase. The unemployment rate is one of the lowest, if not the lowest, in the European Union. We don't have much to worry about, right? Well, generalizing, but in reality it is always a concern for every family that is affected by it, or every person who is affected by it. But according to data presented by the government, unemployment has been rising for 8 months in a row. However, representatives of the ruling coalition have an explanation for this. You have data showing 6%. According to another indicator, I can say that unemployment is at 5.6%. It's worth noting that there are different models for measuring unemployment. We should be concerned not only about the level of unemployment, but above all about the fact that there are no new jobs being created in the Polish economy. These are two processes that are not usually linked, but I think what is even worse is that there are simply no new jobs being created. I'm not even talking about highly specialized and highly paid jobs. There are no new jobs at all. We are losing our competitiveness not only in relationship to Western European economies, but also in relation to the whole world. The government seems to be pretending that it does not see the problem. What is worrying is that there are more and more signs that it is difficult to find a new job. This also applies to young workers entering the labour market, but also to those industries where it seemed that employment was secure. Practically every week we hear about investors leaving Poland. This is certainly a bad sign coming from the economy. First of all, I see that these are moves by large Western corporations, which are limiting employment in Poland by moving production back to their home countries. Or maybe it's just artificial intelligence. When you think about why this is happening, it's definitely technology to some extent. AI is also removing jobs from the market. AI has not appeared in the last 8 months, during which unemployment has been rising in Poland. Does the government have any idea how to stop this increase? This is not some kind of systemic surge in unemployment. We have a problem with the shortage of workers. It is perhaps a matter of retraining, perhaps of responding more quickly when it comes to vocational education. The Ministry of Family, Labour and Social Policy is living on hope. It is to be hoped that spring, as in previous years, will bring a reversal of the unfavourable upward trend in unemployment, along with a revival in construction and services and a greater number of new recruits. At the same time, a significant reduction in funding from the Labour Fund for activation programmes may contribute to the persistence of rising unemployment. The government has no idea what to do. It is delighted that we are in the European Union and that they are doing so well that nothing needs to be done at all. We need to start fighting for good conditions for the development of entrepreneurship in Poland. This means, for example, ensuring reasonable energy prices, because currently the energy prices for businesses are much higher than those for ordinary citizens, and these are prices at which no serious investor will launch any energy-intensive activity in Poland. Members of Parliament do not have to worry about their wallets, but, as Rzeczpospolita reports, for some it is still not enough, and this is despite the increases since this year. Poor merchants who have got villas from their parents will be happy. The lump sum for renting apartments for MPs from outside the capital has increased to 4,700 zloty, and the lump sum for MPs' offices has increased by 1,700 zloty and now amounts to 25,000 zloty. Salaries have increased to nearly 14,000 zloty and the parliamentary allowance to 4,300 zloty. At the request of Elżbieta Gelert from the Civic Coalition, in March the same Committee on Rules, Parliamentary Affairs and Immunities will address the remuneration system for parliamentarians because, in her opinion, they do not earn enough. As I am professionally involved in healthcare, I see a growing gap between the medical professions and the salaries of members of Parliament, and I am not acting on my own interest here, because I am a non-professional member of Parliament who does not receive a salary from the same. These funds are what they are, but is there a frenzy or not? It could always be better. You know that this money on the level of 20-odd thousand zlotys per month, and you have to pay for equipment out of that. You have to buy equipment, you have to furnish the office, you have to pay the employee, you have to pay the rent. Small entrepreneurs cannot count on such additions to the rent for premises, but they have to manage somehow. The same goes for mileage allowances. Today, senators probably have 2.5, while we have over 1,000 PLN less. Senate constituencies are smaller than parliamentary constituencies. Nothing but sympathy. As things stand, many Poles look at these allowances with a certain amount of envy, because with the issue of mass layoffs, there are many problems associated with finding new jobs. In all this, it would be really despicable to say MPs are poorly paid. If someone complains, they're probably a little out of touch with how the average worker lives today, because the average worker pays taxes so that MPs like Mirka Gajewska and other millionaire parliamentarians can live comfortably without worrying about unemployment.